All individuals are expected to observe respectful behavior and decorum during this public meeting. Anyone acting in a disruptive, disorderly, or threatening manner will be asked to leave and may be precluded from participating in future opportunities for public comment. Please be courteous and respectful. Please turn off or mute all cell phones and pagers. Thank you. And I appreciate all of you coming out again tonight. How you doing? Very short agenda tonight, so I don't anticipate we're going to have a long time here.
As long as last week now.
So we first on our list is public comment. First up is Jeff Smith. Jeff.
So I brought everybody a packet. I brought one for all the counselors, including Christine, and I brought one for Louie as well. So hopefully they'll make their way around it there. I'm here to give an update on the National Bike Summit that I attended a couple weeks ago in Washington, D.C. It's an annual meeting of bike advocates, club leaders, industry reps, and politicians for a day of workshops and a day of congressional meetings. I was there representing goats in the city of Oakridge, mainly to emphasize how mountain biking has been a boon to the Oakridge economy, and also to thank our congressional leaders for supporting the Embo Ride Center and explaining how we used those funds to leverage for an RTP grant last year, and that both of those projects are hitting the ground this year and should be completed by this fall, so it's very big news for goats in Oakridge. We have a lot going on this year, Goats does. We have multiple trail projects slated to be completed, multiple Ride Center facility projects, hopefully slated to be completed, 2 different Kids Day youth clinics, and the Embo Regional Summit is going to be located here in October, which is a regional event that draws club leaders and advocates from around the Northwest, and they'll all be here in Oakridge. And this is in addition to all of the other Goats events that are always occurring, like Indio, Pat 55, Cascade Green Puff, and although it's not a Goats event, the over-the-top bike ride. So the National Bike Summit's theme this year was Bicycling Means Business, and it focused mainly on how developing bicycling and walking infrastructures stimulates local economies by means of healthcare, energy, and infrastructure savings, increased business for local businesses who benefit from bike traffic, as well as the manufacturers and retailers who support them. The bottom line was mainly that making streets and paths safer for bicyclists and walkers has a profound effect on local economies in a positive way. And Portland especially is the rock stars of the biking world, and their national model for what they're doing with their biking infrastructure. But of the most significance of Oakridge was all the data on the impact biking has on recreational tourism, and there was a couple different reports released in the packet that I gave you. One Travel Oregon study on bicycle tourism stated that travel generated expenditures in Oregon for bicycle-related trips was $325 million in 2012, and of those, $23 million alone was for mountain bike day trips. So those are big numbers that we're trying to pool into our community. Another study focused on mountain bike specific events, and it indicated that MBO generated $1.69 million after the multiplier effect in business in just 2 weekends in 2012. And what the multiplier effect means is that when $1 gets spent in the community, it doesn't just stop there, it gets spent repeatedly over and over again within the community. So $1.6 million for 2 weekends out of the year is a huge number for this local economy. And we've already seen the impact to Oakridge locally, the local economy in terms of what biking tourism is helping with the pub, the bakery, the hostel guest house, Oregon Ventures, MBO, Mercantile, Westford Lodge, and New Vision Wilderness that's going to be locating here this fall. And all these businesses are thriving or planning to thrive in Oakridge because of what Oakridge is becoming. Some more numbers that I included in your packet are just Oregon-specific numbers on tourism and hospitality, that tourism creates jobs. There's been a 3% increase in tourism jobs from 2003 to 2010. And this is right in the middle of a recession, so to increase those jobs by 3% is pretty big. Tourism creates visitor spending. In Oregon alone, there's $8.1 billion in 2010 in visitor spending. That's up 25% since 2003. So Oregon on a statewide level is really seeing an increase in tourism. Tourism creates overnight visitors, 21 million overnight visitors. In 2009 was an average stay of 4 nights. And all of this has a very important significance to rural communities, especially because tourism is becoming one of the 3 largest industries for employment in rural counties. Tourism jobs are providing a way of diversifying the local economies with small niche type businesses that are more connected to the community than, say, a large employer would be. So in conclusion, I would just like to thank the city for what they're doing, not only for supporting bicycling and walking around the city, but promoting recreational tourism for all that Oakridge has to offer, including hiking, rafting, hunting, fishing, climbing, sightseeing, boating, birding, and just flat out exploring the natural beauty of the area. And I would like to encourage the City Council to continue to build our local bicycle and walking infrastructure here in the community to make walking and biking safer for our community, as that is an integral part of creating a local sustainable economy. And also to continue to build upon what Oakridge is becoming in terms of outdoor recreation, and along those lines, utilizing other key documents and studies that I didn't include in your packet, but that should be readily available to you, since they are, I believe they're all city adopted documents. But the Destination Readiness Report, the Outdoor Recreation Economic Analysis of Oakridge, and the Parks Plan and the Trails Plan are all documents that should be considered when achieving tourism goals. So, thank you for your time.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah. James Zappa.
Well, good evening. I wanted to make several suggestions. I know as we're going to be moving down to the WAC Center to hold city council meetings, I would like for the city council to perhaps offer a suggestion for the city to ask for volunteers to paint a mural on the wall or outside there where the gymnasium is. It's an excellent place to get volunteers for little or no cost to come up with an idea to paint the building, whether it's the symbol of Oakridge or whatever. Pick a design you like, run a contest for a design. I'm sure we have talented artists here in town that can use a paintbrush. I don't happen to be one of them, but I think it'd be a great place to do it. It's just an ugly big wall looking for something, and we should either sell it as advertisement or paint something that benefits and befits the town on there. We're on our way to having a turkey shoot with muzzle loaders and some people and other type of a gun safety event outside. I would like for the city, if somebody calls, an errant person calls looking for that the city would be able to support us and direct us either to Sandy, who doesn't know about this part yet, or to, you know, just to let them know that such a thing is happening out here. And I'm glad Mr. Carl is here, because I've heard some people offer an interest in a square dance proposal. And so since you're banjo ukulele guys, I've actually turned up a fiddler who surprises me. But maybe we could do something like that, do a Saturday thing to draw people in. Again, it costs little or no money for this type of affair. I made a quick haphazard presentation at the Chamber of Commerce for a star party, which, you know, I found a guy reading my astronomy book and magazine where he combined bicycling with astronomy, which guarantees just no way could they come together. But I talked to Randy, made a presentation, and surprising, a lot of people were interested in it. And so I've sent out a blast email to the Astrological Society of Eugene, and have finally found my way through the U of O to the astronomy department, and hopefully I'll get a response from them. The other thing that since the day I first moved here and found that this was the center of mountain biking, I've always wondered why there was no other biking things here. And so I don't like to call us a one-trick pony, so I'm glad Ben and Jeff are here, and they can, you know, support this. But I always thought this town was a right place for a velodrome. So, do I have a blank look for a velodrome?
Yeah, right here.
The industrial park would be a good place for it.
Yes, and you know, we can, and I would have to tell you that I had a long conversation with Faye Stewart, who was very, very interested in the velodrome affair and the Star Party thing. I was quite surprised it just came out by accident in the discussion of other things, and we spent a lot of time talking about that. So he's even willing to give us some money if we can make a decent proposal on it. But again, this is something I think this city, you know, would need to be a part of. So I have here in my greasy little hands all kinds of things about velodromes, how to build them, what to do, their history, everything. And if you're interested, I'm more than happy to give you these or even make copies for them. It's stuff that's easily available on online. You can pick it up. And the other thing that was a bit of a surprise, Washington, D.C. just has its first velodrome here. So in speaking with Faye Stewart, since DeFazio was back there, he might know about this, and this could fall very easily into what you were talking about. This is something that, if we had an Olympic velodrome, this is something that's available all year round. And the cities that have them do very well. They even tell you how to run your concessions. So, and how to do it, how to build it, how to get the 501c3s, how to raise the money. And they're quite detailed about what to do.
Since Mr. Appa clearly knows more about this than anyone else in the room, I think the City Council ought to appoint him as a steering committee of one to look into the velodrome.
Well, the velodrome goes hand in hand with the other bicycle things, and so
he's trying to.
You know, I certainly have an ignorance of a plethora of ignorance when it comes to bicycling and things like that. But these guys have better contacts and things, and so I think it has to be kind of a group effort if there's an interest. But I certainly would like to see an Olympic velodrome here, because you can do, that'll bring in lots of infrastructure. We're in an excellent place to do that year round. You don't have to build indoor tracks. They tell you how to make outdoor tracks, or if you want to do indoor tracks for inclement weather. And you know, velodrome racing, if you've never seen it, my old college down in LA built it for the, or my university rather now, built it for the, I think it was the '84 Olympics. And it's have you guys seen, wake up down there, have you guys ever seen velodrome racing?
Go ahead.
So you know the angle at which they race, and you know they don't have brakes on them. So it's, if you sit there as just a spectator, it's, you wait for an accident to happen, because you're just sure they're going to fly off the edge. But they come up and race at about 45 degrees. It's a bit of a stunner. So that's all I wanted to say. So if there's interest on you, I'm more than happy to give you these documents. Like this is just one of 5. And here's one of 7 that actually tells you the materials to use. Last we talked about this, how to build it, what to do, and I mean it goes quite detailed. And
Well, you should give some copies to the city administrator. He can get them out to the council.
all right, well I can give them this packet. So.
Who would the contact be? You said is it turkey shoot that is lined up? Do you have any information?
Well, that's what Sandy Eads and I were, you know, we started talking about this a while back, and she just doesn't know about this yet.
Okay.
So surprise.
I want to make sure I have names or something if it's something's going on, because people do call. So I'll.
So she's trying to get people to come in costume, I think for the 4th of July, and it's just, you know, I just thought it would be a fun place because it's outside of town. We don't have to assume any liability. It's just support that we do that type of thing, and you know, we can get people to come up for the day, and if we tie it to a 1 or 2 day event, it's a good time to spend the night. And I'm sure we could, you know, do coupons or something with the local businesses to get some money.
Do you know where it'll be held yet, or?
Well, it'd be at the shooting range out here,
okay.
so it's just a tentative. You know, it's beginning to form now. There's one other thing I would like to suggest to you, and that's the back of the water bill. When I was running for the city council, I talked to a lot of businesses who said they saw no mayor, no city council, nobody ever came in to talk to them about anything unless they were buying a business, and then they didn't want to talk. But I have noticed that on the back of the water bill, it's just blank. So I talked to them, well, how would you think about if we put a coupon for your business or a little advertisement? Or, you know, bring your water bill in and get 10% off, or, you know, get a free mini pizza, that type of thing. And there was a lot of interest for that. So I present it to you as, you know, do with it what you want, but if you're going to leave the back of the water bill blank, give them some free advertisement. My feeling was if they wanted artwork, then they had to bring the artwork in for you. So don't let something go out blank. You know, our local businesses need this kind of help and exposure. And it just shows you care about them. Thank you.
Thanks, Ian. Sandy Price.
I just wanted to give everybody an update on this week's general chamber meeting we had Monday. And we did have a couple of extra new people. I thought that was great. James did call me like a half hour before the meeting and talked about wanting to do the stargazing party, and I challenged him to get dressed to get there in time, which he did. So we are going to go forward. We are tentatively thinking that maybe after the cake and cask, doing the stargazing party, that would hopefully get people to spend the night that might have just headed home. So that's in the infancy stage. We also decided that since the Newberry Eagle has graciously given us a half-a-page ad for every one of their papers, we want to sponsor a business or highlight a business edition, and then keep one portion of that ad for new membership. And we decided the way we're going to choose what business gets highlighted that edition is if they come to the chamber general meeting, name is in the hat, we draw, and that's the fairest way we could figure how to do it. And one thing I want to say about everybody's misconception about the chamber is that we only are interested in getting mountain biking events here. That's not true. It just happens to be everybody that is standing up and doing things seems like it comes from the mountain bike community. So it was really like that James came, gave us ideas, and he's going to be involved more than he thinks he is. But please, if you're interested in doing something, come to the chamber. We need people who aren't mountain bikers to bring their ideas and get involved, because the only people getting involved seem like it's the mountain bike community.
Okay. Thanks, Annie. I might add that one of the challenges that we threw out to the chamber was to beat their own drum when we did it. Beat their own drum. And you'll notice that there's an ad in this week's paper kind of showing what their plans are here. That's the kind of stuff I was talking about. People aren't really aware of what the chamber does, and so they're making an effort to change that. Thanks, Sam. All righty. Mayor and council comment?
Actually, I do have a question. I mean, to be a member of the chamber, or whatever, go to the chamber, isn't that for business owners, or is that just for the general public?
General public can come to the meetings if they want to become a chamber member. It's $25 instead of the nonprofit and private members are $25, and then a general business membership depends on the amount of employees you have, but it starts at $100. And we have our meetings the third Monday of every month.
For $100, you like a jacket or something?
You get a placard.
I'll pay the $100 for a jacket.
You get advertising. You get your business on the chamber website.
Good. They still put out plaques?
We're doing the window decals now, because the problem we had with the plaques was that we never seemed to get the exact same year size as the previous year, and they kind of didn't look too good. So now, if you notice, the businesses that are chamber members, we have a decal. Generally, it's on the door. We're looking to change it because the current one is just white and clear. We really like the way Mackenzie did theirs. It has river, fish, and a running trail. And that's part of what we do with the grant money that we were awarded this year, that's the type of thing that we try to get accomplished with it.
All right. Anybody else? Yes, Jim.
I want to thank Jeff for going to DC. I know it was probably a fun trip, but taking the time out of his schedule and away from his family to go there and represent Oakridge, which I know he did a great job of. So thanks.
And I already told him that again, this packet is very well put together. You guys did a great job.
A lot of info in there.
Yes, there is.
Anything else?